Collaboration is the new competition. Every single industry, we're seeing versions of this. Now, by show of hands, who would consider themselves a competitive person? Okay, a little bit more than average in this room. We'll talk about that later. Most of the population isn't. It's 5 to 10% of the population, or in this room, at least 50 to 60%, that is competitive. However, we have an innate need to belong, to work together, to have that inclusion. And yet, I work in the wellness space, so many of our programs are, how many steps can you get? Let's get this table versus this table and see who walks the most amount of steps. But this is fundamentally flawed. Do you remember those old Fitbits, the black strap ones? Yeah, we get the right vintage for several of my stories. So I got this for my family, and you can put them online. It was still advanced enough that you could communicate online. And my parents are from the east coast of Canada, and my partner and I were living in the west coast of Canada. So we had a 3-hour time difference. Okay, my dad is a financial analyst, and he's like 10,000 steps a day are good, 30,000 are better. So we would wake up, and he'd already have 10,000 steps. And I was so impressed. My partner was competitive with him, and he was keeping up with them. And he just went from an active job to a sedentary job. And I'm like, I'm a genius. I'm a great behavior change specialist. Until I came home, and the Fitbit was on my dog. Sometimes, when we want to seek behaviors, competition ends at the competition. So in so many of these wellness programs, as soon as you achieved whatever steps it was, people would stop walking. So if our goal is sustainability, it's collaboration. And that old saying, you're going to go far by yourself or fast by yourself, but further together, it's so true. But how do we create these really meaningful, conscious connections? Now, some of this presentation, you'll be like, yeah, I know, Lisa. No, I get it. But so much of our communication isn't around these topics that should be talked about. Why isn't there a communication class in high school for most of us? Why isn't there a collaboration class? And now that we are seeking out more normalcy and hybrid or fully online work, we need to be creative about it and consciously design these connections. It is fundamental to our human experience. There's very few things that are so fundamental to our human experience as belonging and connections. But again, not usually taught. So how do we get creative about this?